In class, we've been learning about slopes and intercepts of linear equations. In this video, I'm going to be doing a demonstration using GeoGebra, a dynamic math program that lets you visualize the connections between math objects. The question for today is, what's going to happen when we manipulate slopes and intercepts of a linear equation? How will its graph change? Look at my cursor. Notice that we have an XY coordinate system. On the side, we have red and blue sliders that have a large dot in the middle. The red slider changes m, which is the slope of a line, by moving the dot up to the left or right. The blue slider changes b, which is the y-intercept, by moving the dot to the left or right. The starting point is a slope of 1, over 1 up 1, and a y-intercept of 0. When x is 0, y is 0. Notice that the line on the bottom is y equals x. That is the line with the slope of 1 and y-intercept of 0. Now let's start experimenting. Let's use the slider to change the slope m to be -1, but let the y-intercept stay put. What do you suppose is going to happen to the line? Notice that the line is now the mirror image around the y-axis, and the equation is now y equals -x, which is a slope of -1. Notice that the y-intercept stayed the same. Now let's go back to the starting point of slope equals 1. Now let's see what happens when we increase m bit by bit. What do you suppose is going to happen to the line? Let's move m to 2, 3, and 4. What changed? Notice that the line became increasingly steeper. What didn't change? Notice that nothing happened to the y-intercept. Now let's move m back to its original position of 1. Now let's try a different pattern. Let's increase b and see what happens. What do you suppose is going to happen to the line? Let's increase b to 1, 2, and up to 3. What changed? Notice that the line was translated up the y-axis. What didn't change? Notice that nothing happened to the slope. Now, as a third activity, let's try to play with both sliders and see what happens. I'll make m a -3 and b a -0.5. What changes do you expect to see in the graph? So m is going to be a -3 and b a -0.5. or 0.6. Notice that the line became its mirror image, but steeper by 3, and got translated down the y-axis. So, what did we learn today? Today we learned how GeoGebra can be used to better understand the connections between a linear equation and its graph when slopes and intercepts are manipulated. We knew coming into this all about slopes and intercepts of an equation. But with GeoGebra, we were able to see how manipulating slope affects the steepness of a line, and how manipulating y-intercepts affects the translation of a line, or where it sits on the y-axis. I hope you have a chance to use GeoGebra in the future to see more connections and learning.